Today I'm going to show you how to change the lower unit oil on your outboard or outdrive. Fortunately, it's really not that hard to do. All you basically need is a screwdriver, a pan to catch the old oil, some fresh lower unit oil, and some rags and paper towels. Now, once you get the procedure down pat, it really shouldn't take more than half an hour to do it. Ideally, you want to change the lower unit oil in the fall before the winter layup. That's so you can check to see if any water has somehow gotten inside the gear case during the season through a crack or some sort of damaged seal. Now, if left in there over the winter, the water can lead to corrosion of internal components. Or if there's a lot of water in there, it can freeze and expand, damaging the gear case.
To get started, first locate the upper and lower ports on the lower unit. I like to slightly loosen the screw to the lower port first while the engine is tilted up so I can get to it more easily. Lower the engine to the vertical position so that the oil can completely drain from the gear case. Place some kind of wide pan under the lower unit drain, keeping in mind that the oil will run down the skeg. Now remove the screw to the lower port completely. The oil will not drain as long as the upper port remains closed. Now remove the upper screw and oil will begin to drain freely into the pan. Step back and allow plenty of time for all of the oil to drain, especially if it's cold. In the meantime, check to see that you've removed the washers from around the base of the screws. It's recommended that you replace these washers each time you change the oil, so buy a bunch so you'll always have them on hand. When all the oil has completely drained from the gear case, inspect it for signs of water or any large bits of metal that could indicate gear damage. If the oil appears cloudy or milky, water has somehow gotten inside the gear case, which means you'll have to take the engine to a certified mechanic. If all looks good, you're ready to add the fresh gear lube.
Oh, and by the way, if you're going to be changing your lower unit oil on a regular basis, I recommend getting one of these. It's a handy pump that you can buy at most marine supply stores. It fits on a standard gear lube quart container, and it makes it very, very simple to refill the lower unit with fresh oil without making a gigantic mess. Although, if you're like me, you might still end up doing that anyways.
Once you've attached the pump hose to the fill port, pump fresh oil into the gear case. Do this slowly so as to allow the oil to completely fill the gear case. Once the oil begins to bubble out of the upper port, clip off the pump tube and wait several minutes for the oil to settle in the gear case. Come back, unclip the tube, and pump some more oil into the gear case until it bubbles out the top port again. When you're certain that the gear case is filled with oil, replace the upper screw. Just remember that new washer. Now remove the pump tube and replace the lower screw.
So there you have it, how to change your engine's lower unit oil. See, I told you it wasn't that tricky, and now you know you have fresh oil ready to start the season. I'm Tom Richardson for Boating Local. Thanks for watching.